I'm Evan Inada, and I'm on a mission to visit craft food artisans in search of the perfect bite using Columbus Craft Meats salumi. The perfect bite consists of an ideal combination of flavors and textures that unite to create irresistible taste. Charcuterie plays a special role in the equation because it brings together diverse ingredients and encourages us to explore. Join us on an adventure to discover next-level charcuterie through the culinary offerings of cities across the country and around the world. See what Perfect Charcuterie Bite is all about. We're heading over to visit my good friend Tony Gemignani, an ambassador in North Beach, where Columbus Craft Meats first started and is the inspiration for one of our Perfect Charcuterie Bites. To understand Tony's passion for pizza and what makes him the GOAT of the pizza industry. There's so much detail that goes into creating dough and a perfect pizza. Today we're going to learn a little more about building flavor and all the magic behind the scenes that goes into that.
I've been making dough for 30 years. I grew up on a farm. I grew up on 35 acres in Fremont. We farmed cherries, apricots, fava beans. Being around that, growing up with that, and having fresh ingredients was so important to my family. So it's just great to be able to kind of bring that, everything that I learned and give that to you, and you take a bite into it and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So handcrafted, I think it's just important. Tradition, words like that. You respect the craft, when you dive into something and you're making something by hand every day, you want to be true to its style for me. So if it's a New York style pizza to a sourdough baguette, for me, it's important to really understand it, just to be able to know where your wheat comes from, where that fennel came from that goes into that stick of salami that you slice. I think that's important. But most of the people that really come in just want it simple. They want to taste the salumi that's on there. They want to taste the meat, and they just want to taste that cheese and that nice fresh loaf of bread that it's on. Charcuterie is so important when you're teaching someone about pizzas. I run a school. I certify chefs from around the world. It's not just about the best dough you make and that sauce and that cheese. It's also about that cup and jar pepperoni, that sliced salami. It's really always about balance, and it's about everything and all the ingredients and the quality ingredients that you use as well.
We're building these perfect charcuterie bites and really trying to grow the education around charcuterie, and I take a lot of steps from you on really trying to tell a story, bringing in some different flavors from the culture that's the melting pot of San Francisco, really, and really trying to tell a story in every bite. And sometimes it looks crazy, but you got to try it, and once you try it, then you understand and remember things.
Sometimes you think more is more important, but what really less is more. Using quality ingredients on a pizza, 5 ingredients or less, is pretty kind of something that you teach in Italy. It's all about the quality of the ingredients that go on it. So I think it's important that each ingredient that you see here can be utilized slightly different. Post-bake, par-bake, or somewhere in between. And I think that a lot of people need to understand that as they delve into cooking. And it's always about balance. Each bite should take you through a journey. Okay. And I always say that I want 2 to 3 different flavor profiles, and I think that's important when it comes to food in general. I mean, look what we have here. All the ingredients that we have here, this can all go on a pizza. Great, it's on a salumi board, but I can make a pretty amazing pizza, which I just did out of some of the ingredients that you have here. And it's pretty awesome.
Tell me a little bit about this pizza. What do we have on top?
So there's sweetie drop peppers that are on top of it that you love, right?
I love. That's one of my favorite things.
Arugula, shaved Parmigiano Reggiano. You have a peppered goat cheese, and of course Columbus salami. You see it kind of crisp, a little bit out of that wood-fired oven, cooked at just under 90 seconds at 900 degrees. It's that salami goat cheese pizza that has a little bit of acidity from those peppers and spiciness, and the goat cheese is going to kind of cool everything off. So it's a nice peppered kind of pizza that's really complements that amazing salami that's on there.
Do you mind if we start digging in on that one? Because when you're talking about it, man, I'm starving and salivating right here. So
yeah, it turned out nice. That bottom bake.
That's so good.
Great, huh?
And I love how you're saying the balance, like the 5 key ingredients. You get that little bit of acidity in the sweet drop pepper. You get that goat cheese with the salami. Everything just comes all together perfectly. I think there's a lot of similarities between like your craft and our craft, really, when you're talking about ingredients. And for us, like the natural casings, the wild fennel that we're using, our finocchione, everything about it is just, it's really that attention to detail. For us, being able to limit yourself, it is an art form in itself.
Yep. No, I agree with you totally.
I got the North Beach bite here, which we've done in your class a few times in the past. We have a little burrata, tomato, fresh basil, and our finocchione right here.
Yeah.
So this is one of my we named it the North Beach, kind of thinking about you and your pizza school, really just showing the best mozzarella.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love these.
You get the fennel from the finocchione with just perfectly with that mozzarella, that crunch at the end.
Perfectly balanced, yeah.
Yep. Again, congrats on the pizza today, Pizzeria of the Year this year. That's awesome. Like, what does that mean to you, really?
Well, that means everything to me. You know, I've been in business for 31 years, and I've always wanted to be on the cover of that magazine. It's one of those milestones that I just wanted to accomplish. So it meant a lot to me, really a lot to me.
Yeah, and the reason why you wanted, and also why you're known as the GOAT of North Beach, really, is you bring everything authenticity-wise from Italy to here. When you're talking about where you came from and like where you learned your craft itself and how you fell in love with it.
Yeah, well, there's that slogan, respect the craft, that I came when I was in Naples a long time ago. When I went to try Neapolitan pizza, to see a verace pizza Napoletana, like a true Neapolitan pizza made, just like that wood fired behind me, cooked in 90 seconds using a specific flour and a dough recipe. For me, that was so important. And I needed to retrain myself on not only how I made pizzas, but the ingredients I use and how important it is. So just kind of seeing what Columbus does with their salami and seeing how amazing their salami is with some of that old world techniques that they incorporate in, it's something that I love. My grandpa was an Italian farmer. Food was a big part of my life. Watching my mom cook was a big part of my life, and using quality ingredients, farm fresh ingredients were so important. Seeing that how Columbus, what they do to make their salami, especially the Felino, which is my favorite.
God, that's why I brought it. I was like, that's your personal favorite right here.
It's something that's just really valuable to me as a chef, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman and a family man. I mean, what lands on my table is as important as anything.
I think one thing that we take pride in too is like being from California. You born and raised in California, really bringing the California pizza to the forefront as well. What does that mean when you're sourcing the local ingredients for?
Yeah, I think it's important to source locally, not just finding farmers too, but it's like salumis, I think, that are sourced locally, like Columbus. I think that's important. Tony's has a little bit of both. We import and we have domestic products. We always have been. And I think that's important to have diversity on the menu, not only in your ingredients or some of the options that you have on the menu, but with your purveyors as well. Making your restaurant unique and using quality ingredients, I think, is the key. Everyone wants to talk about the new place or the hot new spot. You always want to be the hot new spot.
When you talk about innovation going forward, I love following your social because you always have the coolest new pizzas. I saw the Asian pizza during the Asian American month. Really, what drives you to just keep on innovating and not be satisfied with all the awards that you've already collected?
Well, when you love something, you always, there's a passion behind it. Sure, it could be something that you just get into, but the little things, 90% of it's usually right. It's the 10% as an owner and operator that are important to make things just perfect. You have to show that you care. And if you don't, then it's just a job. And I don't feel like this is just a job. I feel like it's just, it's a lifelong dream. And the little things are the most important things when it comes to our business. And I think that's why, you look at the ingredients like the meats that we use, the salamis, and that we use. I think that's really important.
Yeah, and that's what makes you the GOAT, so I really do appreciate it. And
Thank you.
And just like your boxes say, respect the craft.
Respect the craft.
Yeah.
Spending time at Tony's Pizza Napoletana and Toscano's Brother Bakery, makes it easy to see the magic behind the famous dough and pizza. Tony is dedicated to his craft, just like we are. As he said, you need to respect the craft and keep it about the quality ingredients you use. Wise words to take away with me today.